Good afternoon, everyone. We are the family and friends of our own angel, Ryan passing. We stand here today, united with you all who have angels that are no longer with us due to being the victim of knife crime. We stand here today to ask for all your help to overturn one of the biggest miscarriages of justice in modern times. We are the Justice for Ryan campaign group, and we're all here today to tell you about our own fight to get the rightful justice our Ryan deserves. The sudden death of any young person is a profound, difficult and extremely painful experience that causes severe distress and trauma to the parents, family, friends and the surrounding community. Sadly, our Ryan was brutally taken away from us in the early hours of Sunday the 6th of August 2017 due to being fatally stabbed to death in Chicago's nightclub in Stourbridge. Ryan was stabbed through the heart. Ryan was just aged 24 with his whole life ahead of him. Those who knew Ryan know he was one of the kindest, loving, genuine and happiest of people you could have ever wished to have met. He loved and lived life for his family and friends. On the 6th of February 2018 at Birmingham Crown Court, this country's justice system let the man who admitted to stabbing and killing our Ryan walk free from court without any punishment whatsoever. That's right, he walked free from court without any punishment whatsoever. We had to watch him walk free from court. He admitted to stabbing our Ryan, but said it was accidental. He said he grabbed a knife from a friend because it was a stupid thing to have in there, accidentally stabbing Ryan. He admitted he knew he'd stabbed someone because he felt bone and realised that the knife had injured someone. CCTV then captured him running out of the nightclub and down the high street with friends. He then discarded the knife in undergrowth several miles away from the club, which police later found. He returned home in the early hours of the morning, briefly to change into new clothes. His clothes and mobile phone from the evening have never been found. He then went into hiding at a relative's flat until his dad eventually took him to the police station later on the Sunday afternoon. His defence statement, read out in court, said, "If it was a knife, it was self-defence. I do not recall the exact circumstances due to being attacked and being intoxicated." He was later to admit in front of the jury he had lied about being intoxicated at the time of stabbing Ryan and was in fact sober and had only had 2 drinks all night. A full body mapping exercise was carried out by a specialist doctor whilst he was in the custody of the police station. The doctor provided evidence in court to say that no marks could be found on his body to indicate there had been an attack. The prosecution evidence presented to the jury was overwhelming in support of a murder conviction. So we, the family, friends, along with the police, the prosecution legal team and the whole of our community cannot understand or comprehend how the jury got the decision so devastatingly wrong in returning a not guilty verdict and letting him walk free. For us, it's very clear. Ryan was murdered on the 6th of August 2017. Our own MP, Margot James, has written to the Solicitor General, Robert Buckland QC, saying, "It is incomprehensible to me that a jury could come to such a conclusion given the evidence and testimony available to them." We now have a long and difficult battle ahead of us in our fight to get the rightful justice that Ryan deserves. We have recently launched our campaign, Justice for Ryan, and we're asking you all, you, the public, the national newspapers, the TV channels, to get behind us and help us to change the current law. We are demanding a change in our criminal justice system to allow those, the victims in serious crime cases, to challenge and appeal perverse jury verdicts after acquittal. That is one that went against the law, or against the evidence, or which no reasonable jury could have come to. We are appealing to the Prime Minister, Theresa May, and the Home Secretary, Sajid Javid, to change the current law to allow equal rights of appeal for both the prosecution and the defence, and to allow us to appeal against the jury's decision to a higher court. At present, the families of victims have no right of appeal against a perverse acquittal by a jury. It is currently not a fair or equal justice system when a judge and jury can be held to be wrong when the accused has been convicted, but are infallible when the accused has been acquitted. The Court of Appeal can allow appeal against a conviction if they think the conviction is unsafe. Yet there are no current rights that can allow an appeal if they think an acquittal is unsafe. We are appealing directly to the Prime Minister and Sajid Javid to immediately review the criminal justice system around perverse jury verdicts to maintain public confidence in our justice system and to ensure a fairer justice system that is fit for the modern and democratic society we all live in today. These archaic rules against the appeal rights for victims and perverse acquittals are not fit and not acceptable in a modern democratic society such as ours that we live in today. Even going as far back as to December 1999, the then Lord Chancellor, Lord Irvine, commissioned a review into the practices and the procedures of our criminal courts. The review was concluded in 2001 by Lord Justice Auld and had as its stated objective that to ensuring that the courts deliver justice fairly. He campaigned to amend the Criminal Justice Act for reform of the trial system, including the recommendation that in serious crime cases, perverse acquittal verdicts by juries should be subject to appeal. Lord Justice Auld was not proposing to abolish the jury system, but the proposal to subject perverse acquittal verdicts to review. The right to trial by jury has a unique and vital role to play in our criminal system, but so too has the right to ensure a fair and equal system for both the prosecution and the defence. We believe a perverse jury verdict of not guilty is also a miscarriage of justice. The criminal justice system has failed to convict a person whose guilt has been demonstrated by testimony and evidence and is a breach of the social contract between the state and its citizens. It is a failure of the state to provide to its citizens the protection to which they are entitled to against the criminal activities of others. In simple human rights terms, they are a breach of Ryan's human rights. Our justice system already acknowledges that juries can make wrong decisions, as history has shown us with a number of unsafe convictions subsequently overturned at the Court of Appeal. So if we are to accept that juries can make wrongful conviction decisions, then surely it's only right, fair and proper that we have to accept they can also make wrong decisions regarding acquittals. We are campaigning and asking you, the public, for your support and to please get behind our campaign in order to help us deliver the rightful justice that Ryan deserves, and also to protect future victims from serious perverse jury verdicts. We owe it not only to Ryan, but to the whole of our society and the communities that we all live in, that we fight to get this huge miscarriage of justice corrected. We will never give up. We will fight on. We must do, to ensure the values of equality, fairness and accountability are maintained for us all within our criminal justice system. So please help us make this change in law a reality. We ask you to do the following. Write to your local MPs and ask them to support our Justice for Ryan campaign. Please sign and share our Justice for Ryan petition on change.org We've been told by our local MP we need to get to 100,000 signatures, and again it will be debated on the Commons floor. Please follow our Justice for Ryan campaign on social media sites, Facebook and Twitter, and please share with your families, friends, communities. We need the public to get behind us. Please take leaflets today. Please support our campaign. Ryan via his newly established charity, the Ryan Thomas Passy Foundation Charity. The charity has been established to reach out to local youth football teams and educate youngsters against the devastating effects of knife crime. I have no words that can even begin to describe the immense pain, torture and suffering that this devastating jury's decision has had on Ryan's mum, dad, family and friends, and together we can all make a stand and prevent anyone else from experiencing the pain and grief suffered from perverse jury acquittals. The rule of law and access to justice are fundamental to a healthy and functioning democratic society. To commit a crime, such as to kill another human, is to break a social rule so important to all of our shared values. A crime against one person is a wrong against us all. We should all receive equal treatment before the law. We should all have a say on what the law is through our democratically elected representatives in Parliament, and we should all have a fair and functioning corrective, an appeals system to step in when things go wrong. The decision not to send someone to prison who kills another person with a knife is a worrying decision for us all, especially when knife crime is increasing throughout all of our communities. It sends out a very dangerous message that you can use a knife and take a life and not get any punishment for your actions whatsoever. We stand here today, shoulder on shoulder with you all, and demand our government gets tougher on crime. We are told our government's serious violence strategy, released back in April, is geared towards clamping down on violent crime. It features new funding for various initiatives to educate people on the dangers of carrying knives. There is a focus on early intervention and on the change in people's behaviour, preventing them from being drawn into gang violence. This is all well and good, but there is one thing clearly that stands out like a sore thumb that is missing. Where was the stringent response from our justice system? What is the point of educating people on the dangers of carrying knives and other weapons when there is little deterrent offered by the criminal justice system? Time and time again, we see criminals walking away from court, penalised with nothing stronger than a suspended sentence, or in our case, nothing at all. Anyone convicted of carrying a knife or using a knife should be handed a significant prison sentence. Surely even Theresa May's government can see that the current approach is not working. Lives are continually being lost. Until the powers that be understands there needs to be an effective deterrent to violent crime, its perpetrators will continue to have the upper hand with little fear for the consequences of carrying or using a knife. Knife crime is an attack on our society, knife crime is an attack on our values, and knife crime is an attack on our principles. Knife crime does not just affect one person, it affects whole families, friends and communities for the rest of their living lives. Thank you everyone for your support today. Thank you for inviting us.